My name is Paul Llewellyn, and today on Rainmakers, let me take you to Red Deer, Alberta, where a heartfelt project is providing nourishment, dignity, and hope to people facing food insecurities. In this kitchen, meals are prepared with care, packaged thoughtfully, and delivered directly into the hands of those who need them the most. This project is called To Go Meals, led by Attaleen Werner, whose passion for community and passion drives the mission forward. Each meal is more than just food. It's a message that someone sees you, someone cares, and someone wants to help. These meals reach individuals who may be struggling with homelessness, unemployment, health challenges, or simply in a difficult season of life. Attaleen works tirelessly with volunteers to create warm, nutritious meals that can be eaten on the go, ensuring that those with limited access to kitchens, transportations, or stable housing still have something fresh, filling, and prepared with love. Today, let's look behind the scenes of this inspiring project and witness how one kitchen can become a place of hope for an entire community. You are watching Rainmakers.
Our soup kitchen has been around for at least 30 plus years. My name is Attaleen Werner, and I'm the director of the Red Deer Soup Kitchen. I've been the director for the past 12 years. Our soup kitchen sort of started out as a grassroots organization where, to my understanding, they actually served out of a van. Of course, it's grown over the years. I think originally, and again, I wasn't here at the very beginning 30 plus years ago, but I think people recognized that there was a need and that wasn't being filled. And so, hence, bringing soup out of the back of a van. And over the years, of course, the numbers that are needing to be served has grown. We've served out of various locations, shared kitchens with other soup kitchens, until we purchased this property approximately 15 years ago from the German-Canadian Club. And certainly since the last economic downturn, we have seen our numbers increase dramatically, in fact, double since I started.
Cucumbers from Costco too?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure where she got them.
My name is Louise Wilson. I've been volunteering here since I moved from Ontario 5 years ago. And the reason why I love coming to the soup kitchens, I did it in Sudbury as well as here. And I was brought up to follow Jesus' example of reaching out to the less fortunate. And I get so much fulfillment out of that, as well as it's being with the other volunteers and being on my own. It's created a lot of friendships for me that are lasting. And yeah. It's just the fulfillment of reaching out to others and learning about homeless people and what they have to go through.
In terms of how things have been done, obviously that's changed over the years. Sometimes even the number of meals that we serve per week has changed. When I started, I think we were doing 2 meals a week. Now we're doing 3 meals a week. And a lot depends on what we get from donated. Like for example, from the food bank. So I might think I want to make a certain thing any particular day, and then I get a big donation of something unusual from the food bank, and suddenly I need to pivot and go, okay, well, this was free, and free is good. So we make an entirely different menu. So our menus really do somewhat depend on what we get given to us.
Well, no, I want to. Oh, I see. That's why I said, do you want the peppers or do you want me? You. Okay, I'll do the peppers, you do the cucumbers.
Okay. People here at the soup kitchen are they're easy to work with. Everybody's working for the same reason, like their hearts are in it, and that's basically it. Yeah. I'm Heather. I've been here for 5 years at the soup kitchen. I'm very motivated coming here. It's just knowing that I'm helping. I mean, it's the very least I can do. I don't know, but do I have cucumber in my hair? No. Because I just wiped my hair.
Did you? No, I don't see any.
It's always a guessing game as to how much food we need to prepare any given day. I do know there are certain cycles within the month. If our clientele has received any type of government assistance, then our numbers will go down. And then, of course, towards the end of the month, the numbers will go way, way up. So it is always a little bit of a guessing game. We ask ourselves every time we prepare a meal, how many are we preparing for today? Then we come up with a number that's hopefully an overestimate, because one always wants to have more than enough than you actually need. But a lot of times we're actually fairly accurate. We can pretty much predict what we're going to get on any given day. It isn't very often that we actually have an enormous amount of food left over at the end of the day, but we do regularly take food to another organization, another set of people that used to live right across the street from us that were originally our clientele. Now they live a little further across the city, so we often take our extra meals over to them. They actually depend on us having a fit extra every time, and they're very disappointed if we don't bring meals over to them. We actually serve, well, in addition to the homeless population here in Red Deer in central Alberta, we have a number of, vulnerable, economically vulnerable, sometimes it's mental health challenges. They're housed, people that are housed, but either can't fully provide for themselves, they're food insecure, and just coming and getting a healthy meal is a real boost to their week. So yeah, there's more than just the homeless that come for a meal. Going back to my childhood home, my mother, when my sister and I were teenagers, of course we would drag pretty much everybody home for a meal, but we were very, how shall I say, economically we were challenged, so Mom would feed just about anybody I brought in, regardless of the fact that they really didn't have any money, and she did it with a smile. She never ever complained. So really her example of hospitality on a budget, that's been a bit invaluable for me, and that's the rule I go by here. Nobody goes hungry. Everybody deserves to eat. I don't care where you're coming from, how much trouble you've caused, and we work with some very challenging people. You still deserve to eat. That's the one rule I have here. Nobody goes hungry.
Yeah, I can hand them out if we're not, once we're full, like once we've got the meals prepped. Yeah. I almost brought Brennan today, and then he said, he says, Mom, I don't want to be on camera. And I'm like, oh, okay. And he goes, I'll just stay home. I'll babysit, Mom. I'm like, okay. Hi, I'm Penny, and I have been volunteering. It's going on 4 years now. I actually started volunteering. I came with my son. He needed volunteer hours for his religion class in school, and so we looked up the soup kitchen, and I've been here every Thursday since.
We do more than just meals. I should say that, while we call ourselves Red Deer Soup Kitchen, we actually do give out snack bags for anybody that knocks on the door in the off hours. We give out clothing, personal care items, especially in the winter time. And yeah, we do try to keep a stock of hats and mitts and coats, anything that we can get donated to us, basically. Some of the things I need to purchase, obviously.
A meal program like this carries many unseen demands. There's rising food prices that stretch budgets, volunteers trying to manage packed schedules, and the need for meals only seems to grow. Preparing food in large batches requires strength, coordination, and commitment. At times, the work can feel heavy, and it leads us to pause and consider how this team continues to serve with such steady dedication.
There's probably two really major challenges, and that is, of course, the space we have available to us here. It was great 15 years ago, but when our population that we're serving has doubled, it's not possible to have everybody in the dining room in the space, the actual square footage that we have. We're very grateful for the space we have, but we've started to outgrow it. And then, of course, there's always the financial challenges. It's a faith walk to keep a program like this going without government funding, for sure. We do get a few grants, small grants from here and there, and obviously all these individuals that are generous and keep us going, but it is a faith walk to keep it going financially. And then, of course, there's the actual challenges of figuring out what number you're having every day and trying to make sure that you have more than enough to serve. Additional challenges that we find ourselves facing, of course, are security-related challenges. Some of the population that we work with are very troubled, and it comes with gangs occasionally that are trying to trouble the people that are trying to get a meal. So there are security issues surrounding this. It is a downtown, and it's got its downtown problems that any city has, basically.
Hey, there you go. Thank you. Who got you? Hot dogs Sunday. Okay. Okay.
I actually love giving back to the community. There's so many needy people, and the numbers have arisen so much since I started here. We feed almost 200 people every Thursday, and I think it's good to give back to your community. There might be a time I need help. Yeah. I think they're actively looking anyway. Oh, you have the same water I do. Do I?
We have had challenges in the past with people trying to sneak upstairs and steal. We actually did have 2 vehicles, our own volunteer vehicles, stolen, recovered, thankfully, but stolen. So it was a bit of a emotional challenge, I think, for us at the time, but we've gotten wiser to some things. We've changed how we do some things in response to those incidents. We're very security conscious. We've tried to put as many security measures in as possible by adding cameras inside and out to try to understand what's happening outside or inside. But that only goes so far.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'll have to ask her, but I'm sure it is. Is this can 4? Yeah, 4 or 5.
No. I appreciate it.
I definitely draw strength from my volunteers. Some of the groups are so funny. Our camaraderie here, we're laughing, and if we have the windows open, I'm sure people outside wonder what is going on in there. because we're laughing so loud. We tease each other. It's just a lot of fun to volunteer here, really, and that's what does give me strength, for sure. In addition to seeing the results, of course, of what we do.
Ron Griffith. I've been coming to the soup kitchen for probably 6-7 years. Just seems something I can do, that being retired, I have a little more time, and it's a necessity. God's always been good to me, and I feel it's a privilege to be able to help others that are not as privileged at this time.
I think just the logistical challenges of the food delivery, like actually getting it to our people, is the size of our space. So we're pretty much, if you have 200 people in less than 1,000 square feet, it's just not, it's a logistical nightmare to think that you're actually going to seat everybody in that hour. So given the numbers that we've increased to, I think that logistically is the difficulty. If we really wanted to have only a dine-in service, that would be almost impossible.
Good afternoon. There you go, sir.
Did you have a cookie?
Hello.
Finding volunteers has actually been reasonably easy for me. They typically find us. We do have an email or website, and I've had people randomly email me through the website and say, I'd really like to volunteer. And I'm like, yeah, come on, let's have a meet and greet. And so I can, see, well, yeah, you look, I could really use your help. And I've gathered some people I really appreciate over the years through that. And it's just really been a blessing. I think the only time I have a challenge sometimes is in the summertime. A lot of people are busy, right? Our short little summer we have here in Canada. But I have to say, God has always provided. I mean, it's just really been an amazing experience. This summer I had a student from one of the universities in Edmonton looking for a summer job, couldn't find one. She randomly contacted us. I had her for a volunteer all summer, and she was amazing. She was just lovely. And I wouldn't trade that experience for anything. Some of the all of my volunteers really, I just make me believe in humanity because of their spirit and their willingness to serve. And it's not for everyone. This is not an easy ministry. Some days are, it's difficult, but they come with a smile and they're ready to serve. It's just amazing.
The results are felt immediately. Individuals who go hungry receive nourishment. People who feel forgotten experience compassion, and families in crisis gain a moment of relief. Volunteers discover purpose as they serve. The community becomes stronger, more connected, and filled with small acts of grace, one meal at a time. Hope is delivered in the simplest and most meaningful way.
I have had individuals that I know have benefited and their life and situations have improved. I had one gentleman years ago that was a regular every day. Then he disappeared for quite a long time, and I don't always get to know why somebody disappears. Sometimes that's not a good thing. They could be in prison, they might have died. Or, but my hope always is that best case scenario, their life situation has improved and they no longer need our services. Yes. One gentleman came back to me sometime later and I didn't recognize him at first. And I'm like, I don't want to say his name, but he had struggled with alcohol and he was now sober. What a world of difference. I barely recognized him, but he thought to come back and tell us how much it meant the meals that we had served him and the friendship we had extended through that. And there are other success stories too. One gal that she was so heavily addicted, had a lot of mental health issues, again, disappeared, never heard. Then I heard through the grapevine that, you know, she had gotten clean, she had a baby. And I was like, what? The person that I thought least likely to ever get out of this, because it was so severe. And I'm like, yes, praise the Lord, you know?
Sure.
Our population that has needed this service has increased, has doubled since 2014 when I started. I think on a busy day we might have gotten 100 people, and now it's not unusual to have 200 plus on a busy day. So the need is there, and there's a lot of gratitude too that comes back to you. The feedback is, you know, we really appreciate you. We couldn't survive without you. I've had all kinds of comments, and people there's people that remember to say thank you. I mean, that really does affirm that you're doing something worthwhile.
Sorry, that doesn't go bad either.
Okay.
Thank you.
You want juice? Sorry.
You know, this was new, and I was praying that, you know, God would help me love. The population can be more challenging to love. You know, it's compared to my women's ministry role in Qatar, you know, kumbaya kind of. So I was praying to God that He would help me, you know, really truly love the population I was serving. And well, God answers prayers in very strange ways. I'm pretty much yelling at God, what do you want from me? You know? And God yelled back. It was like instant. I could not believe how fast God answered my prayer, because I was just at the end of my rope at that moment, right? Momentarily. He said, whatever you do to the least of these, my brother, you're doing it to me. And I just like, oh my goodness. Forgive me, right? For being judgmental, for not being loving enough, and give me that love that I need to carry out this important ministry. It was out of my comfort zone, but I think when God asks you to do something, He gives you the strength to do it, if you are willing to listen. So COVID did change how we deliver our meals. Obviously during COVID, at least in the initial stages of COVID, where nobody knew how things were transmitted and what the proper protocols would be, we started having to serve our meals at the door, not allowing people into the dining room initially for well over a year, almost 2 years, which was hard, but we had to do whatever the government, you know, suggested was the best practice. And that kind of changed how people wanted to get their meals. In fact, they got used to coming to the door, taking their meal to wherever they were going, whether it's back to the shelter or back to their home or their couch that they might be surfing on. And they started to like that, so that even when we did reopen the dining room, fewer and fewer people chose to dine in. So we've continued to serve our meals on a takeout basis with an option of coming in if you want to once the weather gets colder. I've been keeping statistics probably for the last couple of years, and what I can tell you that this year to date we have served 22,245 meals for an average of 177 per meal. Now that is up from last year. So it tells me that my numbers are increasing, the need is getting more. I just, keep praying that I'll be able to fulfill that need, because some days it's really a stretch. It's like, how can we make this go? And what can I put on if I do run out of food? Which is rare because I always over-prepare, but I'd rather be that than to actually run out. That would, for me, would be the worst, is to actually not be able to offer something substantial to somebody that comes to my door. That's my worst case scenario, my nightmare. My hope is that other people will be not afraid to step out of their comfort zone like I did, get involved in a program such as this, a program that serves the community, provides a real important service to your community, whether it's a food bank, a soup kitchen, you name it. Get involved, don't be afraid, step out of your comfort zone, because you don't know what even the smallest act of kindness, what doors that will open that will allow the love of God to shine into someone else's life.
Today we witnessed the beautiful work being done through To Go Meals, the project in Red Deer, Alberta. Through dedication, kindness, and the heart for service, Attaleen Werner and her team are ensuring that people facing hardships receive more than just food. They receive care, dignity, and encouragement. This project reminds us that hope often comes in small, quiet ways. A warm meal, a gentle word, a simple gesture that says you matter. I want to pray with you at this time. Father, thank you for Attaleen and for everyone involved in preparing and sharing these meals. Bless their efforts and bless every person who receives this food. Guide this ministry with your grace and fill each heart with your peace. Amen. Become an agent of hope today. Your generosity helps Hope Channel Canada continue sharing inspiring stories like this one, touching hearts across the nation and encouraging people to serve with compassion. Visit agentsofhope.ca and join us in spreading hope to communities everywhere. May God bless you as you give.